This is not good. Tim Slade right rear missing. Now that'll trigger a penalty for them for not sending that car.
Okay, red flag, red flag. We've got a car stopped
in a proper state, and that's the Motorsport Australia race director Tim Schenken on the radio throwing a red flag now, and there is the 20-odd kilos of the control wheel, aluminium wheel for the supercar. Tim Blanchard, it's easy to mix the Tims up there. Tim Blanchard is the owner of the team. Mirko de Rosa is the engineer in the background. So that has parted company off the right rear and left Tim Slade stranded. And Tim's actually been a mega story of 2021 as well, because if you're only just catching up with all of the pace around what's gone on in our championship so far this year, this is a brand new little outfit. It's a Tickford Mustang, but fettled by Blanchard Racing Team. A new group of people have been assembled and put together. Here's the replay of what happened. The Repco replay will show us that the right rear is well and truly parted company and set off on its own tour of northern Tasmania. And they were so fast at Bathurst, and then late in the game, unfortunately, he whacked the wall up at the top of the hill, but made a big statement about pace and competitiveness, and he's going to be one to watch this championship season as well, Tim Slade.
It must have slowed down at the end of the back straight there, Crompo, because it actually ended up parting company with the car very slowly, didn't it? So
yeah.
He must have felt the instability and the wheel coming off, and he's slowed it up, which that's actually great presence of mind. But unusual for a rear tyre to come off one of these cars, and he probably actually heard the tyre against the rear guard. This is turn 2, over the rise, and then bang! And it stands right up. You can see almost right under the complete Coca-Cola Commodore there, and he did have to turn it down. Now, we'll have a look at his steering technique, because what you said before about brake locking is an issue. Watch this, he turns it left, and then bang. And it actually didn't look as bad on board for Macca as I thought it was going to be, but it was a pretty wild little moment. It does show how aggressive that inside curve is.
Here it is again, just in case you missed it. See whether you can pick up the part number on the muffler. That's a long way up, isn't it? That would have got Macca's attention ever so briefly. Never feels quite as bad in the car as it looks from the outside, and that's probably a great moment for the still photographers down there if anybody managed to catch it. So
this is David Reynolds stuck in the lane.
He's got him. So
got him now. Mostert needs to go down there too. Watch this. Can Mostert park it where he needs to be? He's actually got the wheels locked. He ran into him. Nice car control. Man, I thought he was going to spear Whincup off the road.
And I think he did too. They freight trained Cam then. So Mostert actually had everything stopped. He had blue smoke coming off those Dunlop tyres in the run into 6, and they both barrelled on by. Jamie had it done pretty early. The thunder of supercars as they roar to life in Tassie, and a great start by both of those on the front row of the grid, but it's Waters that will prevail into turn 1. Some lock brake action down there, and one of the Shell cars was a bit tardy off the line.
Anton De Pasquale got a shocking start, the worst start of the top 10 cars. So Waters and Whincup almost exactly the same. Young Will Brown was able to get to the inside. Right in behind him is Will Davison. Now Ken van Gisbergen, who tries to force car 97 down the inside of 17, he's been turned. There's contact there with Jack LeBrock. He's also gone into the fence on the right-hand side. So De Pasquale's been turned by LeBrock. Oh, who was that off on the right-hand side there?
Well, that was a very high speed. I think he got back on, whoever it was.
I think it might have been Jake Kostecki.
So that was De Pasquale that was rotated. Meantime, at the front of the field, how quickly things change in this game. You got Waters with 0.2 of a second margin over Whincup. Then Brown's gone to 3rd. Van Gisbergen's moved up into 4th. Then it's Davison.
Oh, it's going to be a monster.
James Courtney and Jack Smith in trouble down here at turn 2. Now, yesterday I talked about the fact that it's normally a frantic lap 1 where things go wrong. Nothing happened yesterday. I didn't talk it up today, and it's exploded.
It's gone mad.
The first lap was wild. People running every which way, particularly down there on the right-hand side out of the hairpin, whatever that was all about. That was, as you express sometimes, Dukes of Hazzard. And you could see on the replay in the background, Fabian also coming in. Oh, James had a monster moment there. I didn't realise how big that was. It was Macaulay Jones and the Coke car that sent he and Jack Smith off into the weeds down there. Look at this. So Courtney at right angles to the direction of the traffic, and what a save.
That was a great
That's going to go in the save of the day bucket, that one.
Yep, that certainly is. He was on full opposite lock, over the rise, totally sideways, and was able to gather it back up. Beautiful bit of driving.
Pretty simple pass down the inside, and then he was fully lock limited, but still set him up high, Will Davison. Will's left that space down there, and he's got it done pretty easily. So they've got great strength in that part of the racetrack, both cars 88 and 97, and away he goes. Here's another view once more.
Critical here, because he's only at a halfway block. If you're going to block, you're going to block the alley down the inside. You could have driven a Kenworth down the inside of that one. And then, in the end, all he's done is parked himself. So here we go. Here comes his Van Gisbergen again. He sort of forces his way down the inside again. And then he forces he's forced Waters wide. And he wasn't able to stop it. He had to escort him wide because he was down the dirty side of the road and he couldn't pull it up. So it didn't look like a great stop from Shane.
Whoa. Jack Le Brocq and Scott Pye. That could have ended poorly. And it's continuing to rage on the run down to the hairpin. And there'll be some momentum in favour of Scott Pye here. So he runs to the outside. Jack covers him in the truck assist Mustang. And he goes for the crisscross. Oh, he's actually runner-up motocross style over the top of the dirt. Well done, Scott Pye.
And it worked.
It worked. Now, there you go. There's a whole new line. So Frosty and Will Brown arguing over turf in a straight line and continuing that one. And I reckon there's going to be more here and more again.
It's not playing very nicely, Neil.
Now, here's where Nick Percat gets it up the inside of Will, and that confirms what I just saw on the computer timing.
Yeah, he's trying to wave. Percat trying to wave to say sorry, I think. Maybe it was sorry, or maybe it was the bird.
If you go too crazy, you can take them way out of phase and be Neville nowhere.
Yep.
So, David Cautious got away with it, gave him a bit of a rattle on Zane Goddard, David Reynolds, and actually he's put some damage on the right front corner of that as a result. It's rubbing on the tyre big time now. That might have actually ended up costing him. So it's pushed the splitter back onto the tyre. And if that doesn't sort itself...
hang in there for now, watch your tyre smoke.
If it doesn't sort himself in, you can see where it's actually pushed back on the mounting. So he's created his own smoke screen there.
You got tyre pressure.
Yeah, just finishing off the comment about Mostert, Todd Kelly watching. It's not an easy thing to do to come up with the pin the tail on the donkey settings sometimes to actually genuinely make a leap forward. And it seems as though they might have. This is where Cam's been a little weak as the tyres have started to wear down on the Monster Energy car. And I think he's shot here.
Yep.
He's going to lose a spot to Will. Lula Lacroix and Richard Harris are watching. Has he got him? Or is it going to continue? The side graph has them both side by side, and there's nothing in this. And now
it's going to be
Pasquale have a go at this. It's all on, and watch out for Van Gisbergen because he's buying into this party as well.
That was wild. He was trying to flick back the inside Waters. He hadn't had the grip nor the car placement to be able to do it. I wouldn't want to be Will Davison now because he's right in the firing line for Van Gisbergen. Cam Waters, as you said, is backing them up. So Will's got to make a plan as to whether he can execute this without making himself vulnerable to Van Gisbergen. Shane's purposely parked it back a bit to get a bit better run. He now tries to drive it tight. He's done the Scott Pye act across the dirt.
Unbelievable. Have a go at this. And we've got drag races left, right and centre here at the moment. So Van Gisbergen throws everything at it. Will Davison up on the inside of Cam Waters. Cam just safety taps the brakes. Watch for Van Gisbergen to dive down the inside, but Waters covers him. They'll go 3 wide down here the way this is going to play. But Waters and Van Gisbergen have got the elbows up. What a great way to finish our racing in Tasmania. We've got Mostert with 1 lap to go. He's got a 10-second margin over Di Pasquale, and it's far from over for the last spot on the podium. It's an epic battle in Tassie, and we're loving every millimetre of this. He's out of the hairpin for the last time now for Mostert. He's bolted, and this is a big, big breakthrough for Mobil 1 Appliances Online Racing for Walkinshaw and Andretti United. Back at the hairpin, it's still going. Van Gisbergen's having a big crack at Waters. At the moment, it's Mostert, Di Pasquale, who's going to get another podium, and Davison. But out of the final corner, Chaz Mostert finally breaks through for the first time since 2019 and wins for Mobil 1 and Appliances Online. He's run wide. Van Gisbergen's run wide.
He has.
Whincup's got through on the inside. Jamie comes up into 5th, so he ended up with Mostert, Di Pasquale, Davison, Waters, Whincup and Van Gisbergen. And there is the victorious team.
Great job. We've spoken about Red Bull Ampol Racing all weekend, and they've been gapping the field by 10 seconds. How's Mostert's margin? 10.2 seconds to the next car. Beautiful job by everybody down there at that team, and Chaz Mostert has been able to make those tyres live. Their pace has been there all year. Their consistency has not. This afternoon, in race 8 of the 2021 Championship, he has made those tyres live perfectly.
A disgruntled Tim Edwards at Tickford, the CEO, shaking his head, and they've missed out by the narrowest margin with Cam Waters. But that was great racing. Top teams, top drivers, top results, but a big win for Chaz Mostert, and that'll be a giant relief for him.